All right, so I've made some adjustments. I spent all day studying this lineup, and the Oladipo news finally came out. So I'm going to go ahead and update my final lineup that I'm going to play for tonight. And here it goes. Westbrook and Oladipo, I'm going to lock those in. I'm not going to make any changes to that. They have Oladipo in the starting lineup. He's missed 6 games, so he's rested, right? Um, He took part in the morning shoot around with no issues. He's been officially given the green light to take the court and will immediately jump back into the starting five. Considering it's his first game from an extended absence, Oladipo could find his minutes limited a bit, so he may be a risky second long users. However, season long users, however, should feel comfortable getting him active. Um, I don't think his minutes will be restricted. Um, McDermott is a new addition, and they may limit him or Robeson's minute to try to get McDermott some more minutes. The thing is, when Westbrook rests, Oladipo is the one that handles the ball. I've seen that. I watch a lot of Thunder games on League Pass, and he does a good job at it. Him and Kanter kind of work hand in hand. For 5,700, I would need about mid 30s. I think if I get just about 30, I wouldn't be upset. For a starter that's relied upon for scoring, who will handle the ball when Russell Westbrook rests, I'm going to take that risk. On a 3 game slate, you got to take a little bit of risk, and mine is Oladipo coming back from an injury. I was on the fence about it, but I'm at terms with my decision. I'm comfortable. I'm going to go Oladipo and Westbrook, okay? Roberson, I'm going to leave in. I'm stacking a lot of nuggets. I'm going to have a lot of this game. Amino, I'm going to leave. Allen Williams, I decided to take out. Um, Not that I don't think he'll do well. It's just that someone that I really like tonight is Lillard. I find it very hard to imagine that Lillard will not give you what you want and need from a fantasy point of view tonight. Um, he's a beast. For 9 times value, I'll need just around 50. He's averaging in the last 10, 52. Um, in the 3 games, mid 40s. So even if I get mid 40s, I'm happy. He will definitely get you in the 40s. I don't know how many games he does in 40s, 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 40s. And I'm just, look, 40s, 40s, 60s upside, 50s upside, 40s. A couple 30s against Utah. It was a blowout. Atlanta, he was at home and he got mid 30s. Mid 30s tonight. I will. Just depends on how the rest of the game goes. But in 3 games, that may not kill you. And for that to be a floor on a player on a 3 game slate, I'm just interested in Lillard a lot. I'm interested in Lillard a lot tonight. Shout out to my YouTube team for bringing him to my attention. I further investigated, looked into him some more, and I love him. I don't see any reasons not to play Lillard tonight. Some other people I took into consideration not playing Westbrook and going with the Wall. It's just that when I look at the splits, it seems that Wall relies on the crowd in DC to run his enthusiasm. I know he's gonna give you a lot of points, but when he's on the road, he gives you like 30s here in Philly, 62, just not bad. Um, in Indiana, 40s, even at home sometimes, some 40s and 30s. And if I get 40s and 30s from John Wall either concentrates on his scoring or his assists. Very rare you get a 15 plus assist with a 20 plus scoring game. And when he does give you something like that, that's when you get the value from him. And I just didn't feel comfortable. I think Westbrook will surpass him. I paid $2,000 more to keep Westbrook. Bledsoe I also considered, but with Eulis emerging, um, I prefer Lillard than Bledsoe. Bledsoe, last time they played 50s, I would love 50s from him if I had him tonight. He can get you 40s. He as well can settle into the 30s. He does it more often than Lillard. And I was just more comfortable with Lillard in that matchup. They both are expected to be high scoring with over and unders about 220 for both games. I like that, but I'm gonna go with Lillard. All right. Um, for center, pretty much I was at the point where I had three open spots with about $4,000 a piece. For center, I'm gonna go ahead and put Mahinmi in. Another YouTube guy kind of brought, and I like that. I like when you guys bring these people to my attention. I actually was looking at eating Mahinmi before the comment, and the comment kind of made me feel like it was destined to happen. It was my feelings and other people feeling the same way. It just made me feel like it was just divine to put Mahinmi in. The reason is he may not get you six times, but he may. In two of the last four, he got six time value, 18. And the other two, he got you five times value. He's so cheap to get me in the mid teens and a possibility of six times value. And I think against a Phoenix fast-paced team on the road, they're trying to rest Gortat a little bit. Mahinmi's been injured and Gortat's been running a lot of minutes. So now they're trying to cut Gortat's minutes back and give Mahinmi, Jason Smith some run. Jason Smith doesn't really get a lot of run, but Mahinmi is the main backup. And I am comfortable for the minimum rostering Mahinmi into my lineup for tonight. Now I have 5,000 a player. Let's go to forward because that's the hardest to pick from tonight. Wesley Matthew had a great matchup. It's just that with his hip, I don't know. Even last game, he kind of went to the locker room favoring his hip. It's just a little risky. It's a lot of people who needs to score. Um, this one could be finished early and he won't play much in the second half. I don't ever plan on a blowout, but it's a possibility. And in the last, look, 20s and teens for someone that I'm expecting around 30 from before the hip, yes, but now not too sure. Lakers is the team to bounce back against, and if he does hit in the 30s and 40s, I'll be disappointed in myself because a part of me felt like he would. I'm just not gonna risk it on a night when I have so many guns. I have Westbrook, Oladipo, Aminu, Lillard. All right. Harkless, I'm gonna put in. Harkless can get you near 30 on any given night, and when he struggles, he'll land in the mid 20s. Hopefully, he doesn't give me one of these teens. But to cuff Hawklets and Aminu, I think is always a good idea. One would always have a better game than the other. They both can have average games. Either way you put it, I think you should end up at around 50s to 60s when you combine both of their points, and that'll carry your team forward. With no Evan Turner, they both will get a good amount of run. Ed Davis is out, so Aminu will get a lot of run, and Harkless will have even more responsibility. So I'm comfortable with Harkless. And then in the guard spot, for some reason, I just feel like Ulyss had his moment to shine. I think it's expiring, but I would love for it to carry on one more game. I just don't see who else I would put with the rest of the money that I have. I'm not doing Nick Young. McDermott is not a wise pick with Oladipo being back. I think McDermott, being that he's so inconsistent and he had let the Thunders down for all these games, they brought him in hoping that with Oladipo out, they can get a scorer. He came, showed some flash, and then started going 4 for 12, 2 for 8. So I think the Thunder might put him on the back burner a little bit. Um, so Ulyss is my last pick. Who else is down here? Breen's, he's probably out the rotation at this point. Devin Harris, a lot of people like. Man, I can't get Devin Harris right on a tough defense. He played two games, 16 in the last four. He's not. It's either him or Mahinmi at this point for me. Mahinmi will not give me eight. He'll give me teens to say the least. And a big man in an up tempo game have a higher upside than a guard in a slow tempo game. So I'm gonna go with Mahinmi just for that reason. Norris Cole, Same idea. He's a point guard and he's a backup. With Oladipo back, he'll run the ball when Russell Westbrook is on the bench. I don't see him doing anything. I'm not picking any of these guys. I'm gonna go with Eulis, hoping that Magic can go one more game. His price is gonna start coming up, and I'm gonna be staying away from him. But I'm gonna run him one more time, and this is my last lineup. Um, Outside of my lineup, if you guys wanna stray a little bit, I recommend Bledsoe. Bradley Beal is a good play. I like him maybe even a little better than Bledsoe. The last time they played, he gave you 50. His home road splits about even. In the last 10, he's guaranteed in the 40s almost, it seems. I just didn't have the budget and mechanics to fit him in. If I did, I would have. He has a good matchup. He's a good player. He could score. It's just Oladipo for Beal. I'm not gonna do that, and then have to downsize on my other lineup. I didn't think it was worth it. Um, Nurkic is interesting. I like him a lot. Any center against Westbrook, I like because they'll grab a bunch of rebounds, some steals, with Westbrook trying to force the ball into his centers. Nurkic will give you assists. He's in a good spot. I see him in the 40s tonight again for his price. I just couldn't fit him in. Allen Williams, hit or miss. He is in a good matchup. He will grab a bunch of rebounds. I don't know if he'll score a bunch of points. Mahimi is pretty tough on the defensive end. So you can end up with 15 rebounds and 5 points and be disappointed on a 7K tag almost. I'm just not going to risk it. But he is someone that is a bit chalky because of his recent production, and he's worth a look. Um, Marquise Morris, the Morris brothers are both good. It's never a bad idea to play one. It's just that I don't know. I don't like him here on the road. He seems to do better. That's good for him, right? And he's been struggling. Some teens, he'll get you 30s and 40s, but the teens and 20s scare me. Um, and with the Wizards, we know any given night it could be Otto Porter, it could be Markieff Morris, it could be Bradley Beal, it could be John Wall. John Wall kind of brings everything together, but the other three is hard to pick from. When you get the right one on the right night, you can do well, but I'd rather stay away for tonight. TJ Warren seems to give you 30 every game. He's averaging 30. The last game he had 30, 30, 20s, high 20s, 30, 30. So he's safe. If you're looking for safe points and your rest of your lineup look good and you just want someone to mellow out, TJ Warren is always a good play. Noel, I was big on last night, and as the day went on, man, I just didn't feel him anymore. I backed off of him. I feel as if Noel is coming off the bench, and the Lakers do give up to a lot of big men, but coming off the bench, I think Dirk Nowitzki got some milestones that he's looking at. Um, so he might want to play more. He might be in his last season, so time is running out for him. I don't know. I always go with my gut. Last night I was all about Noel. As the day went on, just wasn't feeling Noel as much, especially when I was able to get Lillard with Westbrook. That's going to be a showdown. They're both going to go at it back and forth. It's going to be a good game, and that's the game that that's what kind of got Noel out my lineup. Steven Adams in 3 games did not do too well against Portland. He just doesn't really. Sometimes he'll flash a 40, but for the most part he's in the 20s, and then a 40. I'm not willing to risk it. Wesley Matthews, I kind of spoke about. I do like him. It's just with his hip issues and his recent production, I'm not going to do it. Bogdanovich is in a good spot, up pace game. He'll get some rebounds. With him, they rely on him for scoring. So his points will match his fantasy points. If he doesn't score, you're going to be disappointed. I like guys with peripheries, and I don't see it with Bogdanovich. Other people I was looking at. McDermott, I spoke about. Brandon Jennings can break out tonight. We saw what he did with the Knicks. Every few games, he'll come out with a big 30-point night. I'm just not going to say it's tonight and risk it. And that's it. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I don't want to make a super long video. This is my updated lineup. This is what I'm going with. What I like even more, it's a big stack. And on a 3-game slate. You want to stack one game, and I think the Oklahoma game is the game to go. I got three Thunder players, three Portland players, and then mini stack on the um, Washington game with the other. It's only two games that have high over unders, and I'm stacking one with a mini stack of the other. And I think that's where the success will come from tonight. So this is my lineup. This is my final lineup. This is what I'm playing, and good luck, guys. Hope you guys do well.